Welcome everyone to another edition of Shooting from the Hip. When we start getting some guests rolling in, I guess we'll do the thing we do usually, you know, the opening. But we are live. This is Shooting from the Hip. My co-host Red Rainer from the Heavyweight Mark channel, and of course yours truly, Pete Wall from Pillar to Post. We make up the show Shooting from the Hip. How's it going, Red?
It's going great. Feeling much better.
Yeah, you had a bit of a problem there. You were sick there for quite a bit.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 2 days last week. So, well, in and out. I had to go. Went in one day. They told me I had a virus. Went back the next day because my fever still hadn't broke. It was like 105.4. And they were like, well, no, it looks like you have some kind of strange strep throat, form of strep throat. And I lost my voice there for a day, 2 days. So
thankfully, you're doing better. You were
a good idea.
Scrooge McDuck is in there, but we lost your sound there, Red Rainer. Can you start talking again? See if maybe by chance.
Hello. Can you hear me, Pete?
I do hear you now.
Good.
Hey, Scrooge McDuck is in the chat, and he says, good, been looking forward to this. And so have we. We've been gone for a couple of weeks now. Good to be back. A lot of stuff to discuss. We've got Money in the Bank. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover what went down on SmackDown this week and Raw. And some news and rumors. And you've got stuff you want to discuss too, Red.
Yeah, no, I don't know when you want to do that. Just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to talk about that.
Now, I do want to just basically let everyone know, the beanie you see sitting on top of my head, that is new merchandise for my Circle of Steel line. I'm just, showing it off a little bit. And great work from my dude, Darren from End Zone here in Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. Guy does great work. He does all my merchandise at this point, except for the stuff I do on Teespring. A lot more stuff coming probably next week. So I'm going to do a show based on all that. So that's coming towards you on Pillar to Post. Been getting into the live streaming with the gaming lately. WWE 2K17 has been going pretty good. For the most part, everyone seems to be enjoying it. Now, I know you're doing some stuff as well with the gaming. And
yeah, I'm not doing WWE 2K17. I'm playing some RPGs with a bunch of buddies of mine. And it's been going pretty good, honestly. We played like 17 or 18 matches a day. So I'm going to try and get them uploaded as soon as possible. But, bandwidth in the country, you know.
I want to give a quick shout out to RC Christian. He goes to say, Twitch for life. What's up, guys? We are doing good. We're back on our show, which we love doing. Now, there's a lot to discuss. I know you missed NXT this week. I want to talk about the match, the main event of the night, and I hate it that you missed it because I wanted to really cover this with you. Aleister Black going one-on-one with Cassius Ohno. Now, I've heard some podcasters bitching about the match because it did start off very slow at the beginning. But it was like a crescendo. It started off very slow, they felt each other out, and it just kept on building and building and building, and bam, we get Black Mass for the finisher. Excellent match in my point of view. It was actually like a throwback to me. The way they set up the match, they were very careful not to just explode into the match. They felt each other out, and the fans even, they were very quiet at the beginning of this match. And as the pace quickened, as the action got more intense, we started seeing the fans get louder and louder in the Full Sail's arena, and that's what a wrestling match is supposed to bring you. It is supposed to take you to new heights, and that's what that match did. It showcased what these guys could do in the ring. They're both strikers. They're very well known for their striking capabilities, and they proved that on Wednesday. excellently well done match, and I hate it you missed it, bro.
I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't had time. I was gonna watch it this morning when I woke up, you know, and then my friend from Amsterdam messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I'm off today. You want to record some videos?" And I was like, "Sure," because anytime somebody offers, I kind of jump on it.
Yeah. Well,
So
and we're both busy doing our things on our channel. Like I'm venturing further out into the gaming world. I want to do something else besides just the wrestling. The wrestling has been doing good. I just want to explore other games as well, and I kind of got roped in. I listen to the viewers, and I talk to them all the time. Even when I'm doing commentary, I talk to them all the time in the live chat. And they were requesting, they wanted to see a career mode with the 2K17 game, and I really didn't want to get into it because everyone's doing one. Everyone that's got 2K17 and they're doing their thing on YouTube, they're all doing the career mode. So that's why I did the fantasy booking with you and me, and then this Friday and Saturday I'll be doing the Indie League. Let's see, RC Christian asks, what's your favorite wrestler? I've got two. Undertaker and Jake the Snake Roberts are my all-time favorite. And Scrooge McDuck says you should have watched it Red. Yes. He's talking about NXT here. You should have watched it.
If he wants to yell at me so much, why didn't he watch it with me? We could have watched it together.
But
no, he was too busy playing games with me this afternoon. Scrooge McDuck and me were playing some games.
But, I really want to give a shout out to my subscribers because, and your subscribers, because we've got some of the same. They are really great in the chat. We've only had one bad incident, and, thankfully that guy hasn't come back. But I've placed you as a mod now on my channel, and when I do live stream and you have the time, you can check it out. But for the most part,
I guess I'm gonna have to add you as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, I'm gonna play through Final Fantasy Dimensions, which is a RPG game.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that, but there's a lot of work that goes into it because you got to read it out loud for people, and then.
But what I like about the subscribers, though, what I like about our subscribers, though, they are very respectable in the chat. Besides that one guy that came on, we haven't seen him since, which is a good thing. I do appreciate the way they conduct themselves in the chat. And what I like is they enjoy it that we pay attention. A lot of podcasters will not pay attention to the live chat. And I go out of my way to make sure I pay attention to it. It doesn't matter if I'm playing the match or commentating. I'm going to be giving them a shout out and talking to them. Scrooge McDuck says, gotta bleep out all the cussing too. RC Christian goes, what about the Wolfpack? WCW days where...
The editing process is so long because Scrooge McDuck likes to curse whenever we're playing games. So it's like every 8 seconds, it's like another,
I don't have a problem with the cussing though, because to me that's the way I am in real life. I use cuss words a lot, and sometimes it's a fallback for me.
But I'm playing games that kids might be watching, and I kind of feel,
Man, I've got 10-year-olds, I've got 12-year-olds watching, and I do apologize to them. I actually spoke with one of them on the PS4. We did a match together, and I found out he was only 10 years old. So I apologize to him for all the swearing that I do.
Oh my God.
And and he's a good kid, and he asked me for advice for his channel and everything, and I gave him the advice I could. Now, RC Christian, I did love the NWO, and the Wolfpack was not too bad. It just got overdone way too quickly for me. That's what I didn't like about the whole NWO bit. They started branching out, and then we got the Latino World Order, we got the Blue World Order. It was just so much, and they went over what they should have. They started bringing in too many people. If they would have kept it like the Bullet Club's doing. they're making sure they've got their elite and their strong pillars of the ring, such as Tama Tonga and Tonga Roa. You know, they've got their mid card guys that are the top of the business, and then they've got their elite, and that is the smart way to go about it. NWO, they just kept on putting more and more people in. It got overloaded, and they didn't know how to work it anymore. It became too excessive. But let's move on.
The thing is, my opinion, right, Pete? Just this,
hey,
you know,
Tyler Black.
Wrestling now, but honest opinion, Eric Bischoff had a good idea, but he didn't know how to get it out there.
Exactly.
You know, so he just kept throwing shit at it, and at the end, it was just, you know, who wants to watch that?
Yeah. I do want to give a quick shout out to Tyler Black. He is my very first patron on Patreon.com. I greatly appreciate the support for the channel, Tyler. And when I'm able to, I'm going to return the favor towards you, because you have been you've been a pretty good friend. I've just met him probably about 2 weeks now. He's been a really good cat, man. I advise anyone to check out his channel. Give him a little bit of support. Their channel got hacked a while ago, and they ended up losing all their subscribers because of this. They ended up having to start up a new channel and start from scratch. So if you guys want to check out Tyler Black's channel, make sure to do so. Give him some support. He works really hard with what he's doing. And
is it the real Tyler Black, Pete?
What was that?
Is it the real Tyler Black?
This is the real Tyler Black, not Seth Rollins' Tyler Black. Sting leaving the sport. Sting leaving the sport of wrestling. Sting leaving the sport of wrestling was a must. He had ended up with a spinal injury, and there's no way he can return to the ring. There's no doctor willing to clear him, and he might want to in the future to do like one last thing, but it's never going to happen.
Not for WWE anyway.
No. Now I want to talk about Money in the Bank first before we move on with your with what you want to bring up. And I ask our live chat as well. What did you guys think of the women's ladder match? The women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
You mean the one that the man won?
Yes, the one that No Chin Ellsworth won. Now, do you agree that they should have taken Carmella's briefcase away and redone it for this coming week? Like they're going to a redo of Money in the Bank. I think that might be a little bit excessive, but I do agree. WWE has become a box of hypocrisy. Okay? They're all about the women's revolution. They shove it down our throat on a weekly basis. And then they have a man finish the match for the women. Now, if you watched it and you watched it again, like I watched it twice, and the women were very timid in that match to begin with. They weren't very secure with the ladders being used.
You know,
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more action this coming Tuesday for SmackDown Live. But to go and throw a guy in that ring and have him pull the briefcase down and finish the match for the women. This is the women's revolution,
Pete.
Yes, it's
supposed to be the women's revolution. Yet she needed a man to get up the ladder and pull the briefcase down for her. Doesn't really scream revolution to me. It screams, let's go back to the 50s.
Now, what to me would have made a bigger storyline. Now, right away after that match took place, you had Shane McMahon and you had Daniel Bryan on Twitter saying they're going to address this come SmackDown Live. Well, they finally dealt with it at the very end. So Carmella had the entire show to cash in that briefcase to make sure that she got to use it. That would have been the perfect heel scenario. But what did they do? They have her wait it out till the end of the show and have Daniel Bryan take the briefcase away. Now, is that stupid or not?
Out of touch. You know, what are you going to do, though? It's been out of touch forever. It's been years.
Or like Michael Hanrahan says, she should have taken on Naomi that night after her match with Lana, and I do agree with that as well. That should have been done as well. Let's see. Tim Blackmore says, I think it was all bullshit. Tyler Black, it was a good match, but the ending was messed up with James Ellsworth. And we got RC Christian says, I watched it 3 times. It's basically BS. Michael Hanrahan says, it didn't live up to the hype that it should have, but had as the first ever women's ladder match. I do agree with that. They lost a lot of the hype during that match. They were way too timid to really follow the hype that was supposed to be the very first women's ladder Money in the Bank. Because men are better than women. That's what Scrooge McDuck has to say about it all. RC Christian says, I wish the ladder broke. I do too. Especially when James Ellsworth is climbing his ass up there.
I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. Scrooge McDuck, what would your girlfriend think if she read your comment right
now? Why give them a chance to take it away if you're a heel? Plus, Naomi was really beat up by Lana. That's another thing I want to go about. Yeah, Scrooge McDuck answered you saying no. But so, what were your thoughts on that Money in the Bank ladder match there? I've been doing all the talking, so you give your thoughts on.
Yeah,
that.
you have been doing all the talking. You got these rubber lips that keep moving. Oh my god. So yeah, no, fucking. I liked some bits of it. I liked the spot where Becky Lynch got scoop slammed or body slammed, depending on what federation you're in, I guess, and who's calling the match.
It's both scoop slam and body slam. It's both the same.
You know, that was probably the best part of the whole match for me. Just watching her take that bump. Everything else, Tamina starting off, and, kicking the ladders into each other. That was a good start, but it got kind of, it got kind of stale in the middle. And then the end was horrible for me. But that was it was one of the better one of the better matches on the card, in all honesty. I really was not a fan of the whole Ellsworth thing. Pissed me off to no end. I know my prediction video will be available on Friday. It's been available to patrons since Monday morning. But my predictions video and my recap, I had Becky Lynch winning, and I was wrong.
Now, the Lana versus Naomi match, that one, there's a lot of people there, we were surprised how good Lana did, this and that. I don't know if they were really watching what she was doing. She botched a lot of stuff in that match. She did look good doing some of it.
The new Botchamania is full of her. I don't know if you've seen the new Botchamania. It's full of Lana.
Yeah, but she needed a hell of a lot more time before she got a title match. And that's what pissed me off. And Becky Lynch made a very good point this Tuesday. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan like to tout the words that SmackDown is the land of opportunities. Now, Becky Lynch turned around and said, no, it has become the land of giveaways, and it has been. Nobody earns their spot anymore like a true wrestler used to do back in the day. Everyone just has to go up and demand, and they're already given a title shot. Look at Lana. Lana, barely any in-ring experience. Yes, she's been doing a good job training. She's learned some moves. Does that warrant a hell of a fucking shitty title match that she was giving? And then given a second one for this coming week. Does that make any sense to you?
Not at all. But the thing is, the titles mean nothing anymore. Absolutely nothing. Titles, they just don't matter. But there's only one title that I recognize that matters now, Pete. Do you know what title that is?
No, I don't.
That is the IWF Championship, which I happen to hold at the moment, as I have more likes than you on our videos. So.
Now he's talking about our fantasy booking.
Maybe
league.
one day you'll hold this title, but not now. This is my title.
I cannot believe you went and made yourself a title out of a fucking piece of cardboard, man.
It is amazing, people. Boom.
Okay. Now, yes, you did get the win.
I'm going to wear this the rest of the show just so, you know, you can remember my great booking.
I want to see how your show's going to do when you take over doing some of the commentary, when you actually, you know, splurge a little bit and actually get yourself the 2K17.
We need to get that port so we can do that.
I want to go over the chat real quick. We've got a lot of people talking in here today. Michael Hanrahan says, I liked Becky Lynch giving her goggles to the kid in the style of the Hitman. I did as well. I appreciated the way she went and did that. Does she do that all the time or just did it that night? No, she's done it on a few occasions. She doesn't always do it, but for the most part, she does like to. RC Christian says, so Vince McMahon is a prick? Yes, of course. I bet 100 on Lana. Cash me in. Michael Hanrahan, Becky would have won if not for James Ellsworth. I do believe that to be true as well. Now, it is all storylined and fixed, but I think Becky Lynch could have been the one to win it if they wouldn't have gone for that storyline with James Ellsworth. RC Christian says, Becky can't sweep, and goes on to say, Lana is a beast. Hanrahan says, and if you get popular on your own, WWE punishes you. That they do. Look at Zack Ryder and Damian Sandow for one. And Michael Hanrahan also brings that up.
Every single wrestler that's ever gotten over, they didn't want to get over. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, how much did they punish those two?
Well,
in all honesty.
Michael Hanrahan says, congrats to the champ, and he's talking to you here.
Oh, thank you very much, Michael.
And he goes, Scrooge McDuck wants to see us wrestle.
Hold on. I don't look right with this belt in my, you know. Hold on.
So, the only way, because Red lives out in Maryland, I live out here in Ontario, Canada, the only way we're going to fight is on WWE 2K17, and that could very well take place this weekend on Big Dog Wrestling's, the new indie league that we're starting Friday and Saturday. So that is the only way you're going to see it. But out of the two of us, when it comes to real life, I'm the one that came up on the streets. I am the one that was trained as a wrestler. I see, even with the injuries I got, buddy, I'm sorry, you go down like a bitch. But that's just me, you know? That's just
I'm
me.
like Jim Cornette. I'll take a baseball bat and beat the hell out of you. You're not going to do shit.
But
that's how, it'll be a hardcore match.
Hey, buddy, that's all the street fighting is that I grew up in. So, RC Christian says Bill Goldberg, they screwed him over in the end as well. And Scrooge McDuck says, yeah, Red sucks. And Christian, you have wrestling training. You a pro? What your fighting name? I got a lot of backyard wrestling experience, and then I was just starting in wrestling school, a wrestling gym, when I got hit by a truck. That ruined my pro career. I do have amateur wrestling training as well. Went around all over Ontario with tournaments when I was in still back in high school, so I have a very good record there, and very happy with it. Plus, a former football player as well. So I'm a pretty well-rounded motherfucker.
For many, many years, I said my prayers and took my vitamins, guys. Lots of training.
Now, I use a name in the Facebook wrestling app as well as on the 2K17 game and it is related to what I was supposed to be doing when it came to wrestling, and my character name was Sin. Everyone liked to call me the Nightmare because I did like to cause a lot of shit, but you know, that would have been my wrestling name. It would have been around that line, Sin or something like that.
Man, I was Billy B. Dangerous
but
when I backyard wrestled.
I had to sit on the sidelines and watch a lot of my buddies go on to have very successful indie careers, and you know, it sucks, but I'm proud of them for them pulling through what they did. A lot of regrets on my end, but you know, that's the way it is. It's life. You'll go through it. So now you have something to discuss. We're going to go back into Money in the Bank off and on here, plus Raw and SmackDown and NXT. We're going to try and, you know, cover a little bit of everything here and there. But Red Rainer has something to discuss, and I'm pretty sure he wants me to bring it up.
I got it. I want to bring this up.
It'll be up on your screens right now.
I am so excited. I don't know which one you put up first.
Vince Russo's up first.
Oh, good. So, Mr. Vince Russo has blocked me on Twitter. Finally. I have said so much shit about this man in the last several months. I can't believe it took him this long. You know? He's going around now and he's blocking anybody who uses the hashtag Cult of Cornette. And, you know, fuck you, Vince Russo. Seriously, fuck you. You ruined WCW. You ruined WWF. Nobody wants to see your stupid fucking gimmicks. You got one idea out of 1,000 that's any fucking good. And I'm quite happy, you know. No more problems with Mr. Russo ever again.
You know,
no more him putting his 2 cents in. You know, this bastard used to comment on my post to Jim Cornette. And I won't have to see that anymore. So I'm quite happy.
From what I've heard, though, it's very easy to get banned by Vince Russo. All you have to do is mention a certain somebody, and he's ready to ban you from or block you from his Twitter, right?
Well, the first thing I asked him, the first thing he ever answered me to was, I noticed you don't have anything about WCW on your profile, Vince. Why would that be? And he said, I didn't like working there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you just suck.
Now, I'm going to bring up the next one. This is with JBL.
You know, I haven't even said anything on Twitter about JBL. I've posted Fire JBL chants from a SmackDown that my friend went to. He recorded some crowd chants for me. And that's up on the Heavyweight Mark channel. You can go ahead. I think it's like the first or second video I actually did.
There we go.
And JBL took it upon himself to go in the description of my video, click my Twitter, and block me on Twitter. Why? Because you're a coward, John.
The thing is, though, JBL is all about getting into people's faces, putting them down. And I've experienced a lot of this with a lot of people in my past. Once you get in their face and you let them know shit ain't gonna slip by, they either walk away or, like, when it's social media, they block right away.
Yeah, no, his skin is so thin, man.
Scrooge McDuck says you should challenge him to a fight, and because that's his livelihood,
you know what?
Also.
Vince Russo, you meet me any place, anytime. You give me the address, I'll show up. I won't bring $5,000. You just show up and I'll beat your ass. I don't care if you bring the cops or a knife or a gun.
Or you'll trip and fall on them.
Your ass. Shoot me 6 times. I don't care. And as far as JBL goes, you're a bully, John. Joey Styles knocked your ass out. Me knocking you out would not be a problem.
But, no, I know there's a lot of guys that, especially podcasters, they'll go, and I know you've been doing it purposely. You go in and you antagonize these guys. And so you got...
Yeah, but Before I was a podcaster, I've hated Vince Russo and John Bradshaw Layfield for almost 20 years. I haven't hated JBL that long. I've hated JBL for 12 years, man.
Yeah. Me,
12 years.
I'm a little bit different, though, when it comes to that. I'm always respectable because I know they do work hard hours. They do work a different style. And if you look at the way the locker room used to be played out back in the day, everyone hated everyone because that was the way they made money. It was, if you became friends with someone in the locker room, that was someone potentially going to get your pay cut. So the backstage was a lot more hectic back in the day, and JBL still carries that same demeanor over to this new era. And
well, the point is,
I'm not covering for the shit he does. I still think he's a bully and a jackass, but that's the way they were brought into the business, you know? And the whole point was you had to make sure your match could outdo everyone else's on the card. And if it didn't, that was
that's something he's never been able to do, Pete. So I don't know what you're talking about there. JBL's never been able to steal the show. He was made champion because, well, honestly, because they didn't have anybody else.
Well, you look at his body of work with APA, though. APA was very popular, and that wasn't just because of Farouk. That was because of him as well as JBL. So
a couple of guys that want to have bar fights, you know, they were basically ripping your life off, Pete.
No, I look at the wrestling business a little bit differently. That's all I'm saying. I still think he's a jackass, a loser, and a chump. But I understand where his demeanor comes from, because he was brought up in that era where there was nothing but conflict in the locker room, and there was always pranks and bullying going on back then. Nowadays, everyone goes to the coffee shop and the burrito bars and, you know, the lattes and all that. They all sit together. They're all buddy-buddy. And if you... actually, I've got an article. JBL, Big Show says it best in one of his interviews. And he goes on to say that these days, everyone wants to be friends, and that's where the product has gone down into the shitter. Because no one is willing to put it all on the line anymore in that ring, because everyone's friends, so they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So there's no drive for competition. There's no drive to look better than the other guy. No drive to actually make your match the star match. It can be the opening match of the card. And you should be striving for the best match that they have put on the show. And yet, what do you see these days? Everyone's half-assing everything inside that ring.
Everyone's half-assing everything when it comes to wrestling now. Wrestling isn't wrestling anymore, Pete. It's sports entertainment.
Yes, and I have been to a few shows. I do enjoy the indie shows better, though, RC Christian. Sorry for interrupting you there, Red.
Oh, you're fine. And Scrooge McDuck, he does a good clothesline, but Okada does a better clothesline, so meh.
No, so
that's what but JBL
that's the point I'm trying to make here, you know? When everyone became friends in that locker room, when the conflict and the fighting and the bullying and the joking around stopped, that's when you started seeing a lot of the matches start to go downhill. A lot of the storylines, that's because they hired Hollywood scripters instead of hiring wrestlers that were bookers. You know?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Dusty Rhodes, you know, one of the best bookers of all time. And he was, you know, he was champion for what, 20 years? Off and on? Yep. So, it's just, I don't know.
See, now, I've been welcomed.
Yeah, a question in chat real quick.
Okay.
China died last year of a drug overdose. Accidental. Wasn't purposeful. She didn't take her own life on purpose. We wish her family the best. It was last year, you know. Still got to hurt, you know. You lose your daughter. Her mother and father are still alive.
It does suck, man. It does. I actually wasn't going to bring it up, but you know, it is what it is. You know, there's been so many drug overdoses in the wrestling world already. I don't want to have a downer show, you know. So
No, but you know,
but throwing it out there, it's good to do. It is good to do.
they asked, you know, you got to answer. So.
Okay, let's see. RC Christian says Booker T ? He gave 0 shits. I do agree. I do have some articles here, but since we've gone so far into the show, I want to do something for our sponsors here. Okay. So today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial using this link, audibletrial.com/pillar to post or audibletrial.com/heavyweight mark. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's audibletrial.com/heavyweight mark.
Now, they have over 200,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, you can unsubscribe. You don't need to stay with the membership for those 30 days if you don't want to. You still keep your audio book, and it can be anything of your choosing. And boy, am I getting pop-ups here from YouTube. I also want to give a shout-out to Pillar to Post new sponsor. That is Grapple Merch. Visit grapple.bigcartel.com, and when using this code on your checkout, Pillar to Post 77, you receive a discount of $2.50 of whatever you purchase. Now, courtesy of Pillar to Post and Grapple Merch, grapple.bigcartel.com, which is also Grapple Merch, they have wrestling memorabilia such as t-shirts, autographed photos, WWE Elite wrestling figures in your very own Grapple Box. Now, the new one's coming out next week. It is called Grapple Box 4 Elite, and that will be my first purchase through Grapple Merch. So there are our sponsors. Thank you very much for being patient with us. I've got one. It's totally off the topic that we're talking about. The Green Power Ranger says it will only take him 28 seconds to beat CM Punk in an MMA fight. And if you don't know who the Green Power Rangers is, that is Jason David Frank.
Jason David Frank. I met him one time when I was a bit younger at a bar in Baltimore. That motherfucker can drink.
And since his days on television, he has become a very... He's become a very built guy. You know, he's in shape. He is an MMA fighter. Now, this is the article. He goes on to say, Jason David Frank, better known as the Green Power Ranger, was recently asked at Comic-Con.
Oh my God, this guy RC Christian, he just said Pink Ranger takes 2 seconds with leg spread, hands down. I would.
Okay, now he was asked at Comic-Con about fighting CM Punk in a mixed martial arts fight and beating him in the first round. This is what Jason David Frank had to say. He won't spark because on Power Rangers I make things spark. Oh my God. He won't grow into a big monster. Nobody will. Make my CM Punk grow. So that's not going to happen either. I won't have the Dragon Dagger. It'll just be old-fashioned times. Now, aside from the Power Ranger references, Frank went on to say, I can't promise it's going to go any longer than 30 seconds, but if it does happen, it's great. Now, I just like to be clear, I love CM Punk. He's a great guy. There's no issues at all. It's just the fight world. And if people are like, leave it alone, you can tell McGregor and Mayweather to leave each other alone then too. This is what his last thing has to say. A CM Punk fan told Frank that he would love to see it, which Frank responded, haven't really thought about it, but right kick upside the head, knockout within 28 seconds. So, is he trying to build a fight with CM Punk, trying to get CM Punk back in the ring? There are rumors that CM Punk wants to get back into the wrestling world. But does he want to leave the whole MMA experience with that one loss to his record? Does he want to actually tie it up before he leaves?
I don't think he's going to be able to, Pete. He's not Brock Lesnar. He's a professional wrestler.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah, it's nice to see you get your ass kicked, but I don't think people really want to see it. People might pay to see it, but
Yeah.
a lot of wrestling fans aren't going to pay to see it. People want to...
I do want to say that RC Christian made that article very hard to read because of the comment he put down. Very nicely done on his part. He goes, you never take an HGH, so he won't have the hype. Indeed. So, now, what other news do we got to talk about? Yes, we've got, we discussed the women's Money in the Bank.
That's breaking right now that just happened today, a couple hours ago. Mauro Ranallo will be back with WWE for NXT, apparently.
Really?
It was he posted it on his Twitter. From the time I talked to you when you did your live stream earlier till this show started, he posted it then. So, I don't know if you knew that or not, but he's going to be doing NXT.
Scrooge McDuck says, this just in, Flair's daughter is actually a dude, and if you've seen the nude photos of her, you start thinking the same thing. Jesus Christ. Oh, damn. Oh, man. This fucking flu is just kicking my ass. But,
not the man flu, everyone.
Yeah, we're not going to go in about the whole Charlotte Flair dude thing. But,
May the 4th be with you, Charlotte.
Damn it, I beat off to her yesterday. Sorry, guys, I got to go. Thank you very much for joining us, RC Christian. Great to have you on the show. Now, what was your view on the Randy Orton-Mahal match at Money in the Bank?
Speaking of Charlotte Flair, why would Daddy be out there for Randy's match, but not out there for Charlotte's match? Looks like he's winning Father of the Year here, folks.
Yeah. But, looking at that Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the WWE title, and now the rumor is they're going to be fighting inside the Punjabi prison match. Do you remember that bullshit, the Punjabi prison match?
It was horrible. It was bamboo around the old style cage.
I don't remember there ever being a good Punjabi prison match. Why are they going to attempt it for the third fucking time?
Wasn't even in it.
I don't understand how they can be attempting it for the third fucking time. It wasn't successful the first two times. And what, Jinder Mahal and Randy, the boring motherfucker Orton, is going to, make it that much better that we're going to actually be excited to see it for the third damn time? I don't think so. I really don't. That's BS. I don't see why they're fighting for the third time to begin with.
Because they're not... I give up. In all honesty, Pete. I hate Randy Orton. So...
I don't hate the guy.
Randy Orton too. Let me tell you. You ought to hear her talk. She's like 85 years old, man. I go over to my friend's house. She'll be, I don't know why Randy Orton's on the TV again. All he does is cheat. I don't know why anybody would like him. And she goes on and on about that, And it's like that with everybody. He's just boring. Nobody really likes him. And the people that do like him are like 15 years old.
Yeah. No,
so
his promos sound the same week in and week out, except for when he brought up his family. That one week, it was totally different. But after that, it was all about the same shit, rehashed, redone. And you can tell he doesn't need a script because he just follows the same formula week in and week out. It's the same comments, it's the same threats, and then going to to threaten a man's family, you know, to me that screams heel, yet he's supposed to be a baby face. Everybody watching wrestling, there is no good and evil anymore, which the formula worked. There was good, there was evil. Now everyone wants to tread that gray line. And to me, that sucks sweaty, old man, wrinkled up motherfucking balls.
Ric Flair balls.
There you go. You know, it's taken away from everything that was wrestling and that made wrestling what it was. You know, everyone can say, oh, you need to step foot in the new era. They do things differently these days. Yes, they do things differently, but they do it all ass backwards. And nothing makes sense anymore. Storylines out the window. You have a fucking pay-per-view every month of the year, and there's no build-up. And then they come up with great balls of fire. Why didn't they just call it, you know, crotch rot on Vince's fucking, you know what I'm saying? Vince's crotch rot. Or rot. Like, Jesus Christ. But
it's sad, Pete. It's sad. He's so out of touch that he's going to put his company under, and he's going to bankrupt his company, and his kids aren't going to have anything to fall back on, and his daughter's going to end up working back at the strip clubs like she did when she was younger. And Shane's going to go off.
At this point, I think what needs to happen is Triple H showing Vince McMahon how things work in jail. Bend that sumbitch over, rape him, and say, now I own you. And then maybe we'll start seeing what's going down in NXT.
I'm pretty sure it's not called rape. Like,
no, like maybe then we'll start seeing something that, like what's going on NXT right now, start taking place on Raw and SmackDown. You know, rebuilding the fucking brands that they've trashed, completely trashed.
Yep.
Like, how long has it been since we've seen American Alpha, and we finally get to see one of them, and it's not a tag match? Makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, they're supposed to be injured. I don't know if it's a kayfabe injury or if it's a real injury.
Who was supposedly
Isn't
injured?
Jason Jordan supposed to be hurt?
I haven't found anything about that. I was looking for months. You know, and
I was under the impression Jason Jordan was injured.
And then
they said on SmackDown, and then nobody really picked it up. So I just assumed it was kayfabe.
No, and then we see we finally get to see the Ascension. It's at Money in the Bank, and they're trashed by the Fashion Police. Give me a break.
The Fashion Police is amazing. I'm so tired of hearing you bitch about the Fashion Police. One of my favorite fucking parts on SmackDown now.
You know what, bro? The dumbass vignettes, the cross-dressing, the shitty promos that they cut in the ring. I'm sorry, but I am so sick to death of the whole Fashion Police bullshit. I don't mind that they finally, you know, and yet, you know what? They call them Fashion Police, but they introduce them as BREEZANGO. How does that make any sense to you? They can't cut a promo to save their own fucking lives.
Tyler Breeze can cut a promo. They write his shit for him. Have you ever seen an indie show with Tyler Breeze?
No, I haven't. I haven't been that interested.
Well, I have. I've watched indie shows for years and years. I watched that when I didn't watch WWE.
Okay, I want to make a point. They're on live television. How hard would it be for one of them to actually cut their own damn promo? What is going to happen? Oh, they might get suspended for a bit, but if they show that they can cut their own promos, I think that would go a long way to gaining a little bit of trust. But
not one bit. We've already talked about this, Pete. Anybody who gets over gets fucking canned.
Oh, I understand that, but I mean, like,
well, then
it's live television.
So cut their own promo, right?
It's live television. Nothing is going to stop. Nothing is going to stop them from cutting their own promo. Now, if they get fired, well, the fans are going to be in an uproar because, well, hey, he just proved he can do better than what you're giving him.
Damian Sandow got fired, and the fans were in uproar, and nothing happened. They didn't get him back. They don't care. They don't mention him.
I think the wrestlers need to grow balls. That's what they need to grow these days. Because, yes, they're under contract.
HGH stealing their balls, man.
They are under contract. I do understand this. But so many of them flounder in the business because of the scripts that they are meant to read. Listen to Charlotte Flair. When she actually speaks passionately about something that you can tell she's not scripted, she doesn't sound robotic then. She's proven that. But yet, when she's got to memorize a script, she sounds like a goddamn robot. And at that point, you're just wondering, okay, is she a robot dressed up like a chick that used to be a dude? Or is she actually a chick, but she sounds like a fucking robot? RC Christian asks, IWF champ, can I order a belt red?
Yeah, they're available. They're $9.99 a piece. They're handmade.
Take it easy, Michael Hanrahan. I will probably see you well, I definitely will be seeing you tomorrow. Crypto Zoo Maulers got a big night tomorrow night. Actually, we should. Can I quickly talk about that quickly?
You can talk about whatever you want. Just know this, Pete. All right, the champ is here.
See. But the only reason why you got the likes is because this man is doing the commentary.
I don't think that matters at this point. I think it only matters the likes.
But
I got
I
more
will
likes
take the punishment.
video, and that doesn't mean you motherfuckers leave right now and go like his video.
I will take the punishment though. Next week, I'll make sure I have the hot sauce ready. It'll be Carolina Reaper hot sauce. I will have to down a whole tablespoon of this motherfucking shit.
I will have to. A shot glass. What is this? A tablespoon now?
Yes, it was a shot glass. I do apologize. It was a shot glass. And I have to down this at the beginning of Shooting from the Hip next week. And I have to do...
And you're not allowed to drink anything for the first hour of the show.
Exactly. I cannot drink anything besides water for an hour of the show. So that's next week, folks. And I'm so fucking excited about it. But I wanted to discuss this. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Or is it Wednesday today? I can't fucking remember.
Today is Thursday.
So tomorrow is Friday. Good. My days are all messed up.
Impact's on right now, and we have more people watching our show than Impact.
So, tomorrow at 6 p.m. That is... Okay, it's 8:52 now. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. we'll begin the debut of Big Dog Wrestling. It will be on the 2K17 game. There's going to be wrestlers you've never heard of before. They are from the Facebook app, and these are also from YouTube here, podcasters and viewers alike that have joined forces to create this community. It's an indie league style setting. And we're going to give everyone time to shine. And we're going to see how well this does. I want to make sure everyone that's listening now tunes in tomorrow. Make sure that you are a subscriber, because that is the only way you're going to be able to get news on this. As well as make sure that you subscribe to the Heavyweight Mark, the IWF champion at the moment. So that's going to be Friday as well as Saturday at 6 p.m. We've got the first brand called The Pit. And on Saturday at 6 p.m. will be the debut of Fight Night. And that will include a lot of good people from Facebook and YouTube alike. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at those times. Friday and Saturday at those times. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And on top of that, every Wednesday will be Wrestle Talk TV, or I should say Big Dog Wrestling Talk TV. And we're going to get live promos from the managers of these wrestlers. And when I say manager, I'm talking about the people behind the character. And we're going to have promos and maybe even have some of them acting out the promos for their wrestler themselves. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We're going to try and have some good, wholesome fun with it. Make sure you stay tuned. So there's my shout out. Man. There's my shout out.
Absolutely. Anyway, to quote... Kevin Owens.
You know what? I want to interrupt you quickly. You keep on stroking that belt. I'm going to fucking ram it up your ass.
Anyway, Pete, what I had to say was, to quote Kevin Owens, this is in a match in an indie show, right? he was doing commentary, and El Generico, Sami Zayn, just got thrown from the top rope in like a superplex.
Yep.
He said, I'm hard, I'm hard, I'm hard. Jesus Christ, I'm hard.
Now, we got RC Christian asking, can we get a Wolfpack cry, Pete? And I can't remember what the Wolfpack cry was. Was that the dog howl? Yes, it was the howl.
Here, come on, come on.
Let's see. Let's see how I would go about it. Oh! 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 How's that sound for you?
Sweet.
But, now, there is,
Hold on.
the case.
I'm the
now,
chick. I can't be wearing these nerdy-ass glasses. What the fuck's going on
Now,
here?
I'm going to ask you something here. So, we've got all the way till next Thursday. Now, what if SmackDown does better with the likes this coming week than yours? Are we both going to end up having to do the hot sauce treatment?
Nope, not happening. It's to this show. Come on. We got to do it to the next show.
Okay, so
In front of the dozens and dozens of heavyweight Mark fans.
now I do want to point out that the pit will have the YouTube champion. That is your heavyweight championship belt for the pit. That will be Fridays. And then we'll have the Canadian title because it's going to be held. It's going to do like a circuit in the in Canada, in all the provinces. The and also the tag team and women's belt on the on fight night. It's going to be the Big Dog Heavyweight Championship, the United States Championship, and then your tag team and women's title. But what we're going to do?
Canadian Championship, buddy. What happened to that, eh?
But what we're going to do on the Fight Night channel, or on the Fight Night, I should say. The Fight Night. There we go. The Fight Night. We are going to set it up so that all the participants taking place will have to go through my character, Red Rainer's character, to get through the first titles. So the first one who defeats Red Rainer or Pete Wall on the game will be your first champions. That'll be Big Dog Champion and the U.S. Champion. And then I've done it so that way two other podcasters, very famous podcasters, Chris Denker, also known as Chris Danger in 2K17, as well as, what's his name, JD from New York, 206. They are the tag team champions, and they will have to be defeated to crown our very first champions, tag champions. So that's the way Fight Night's going to work on the Indie League.
That's fine.
No hot sauce tonight, Christian. I do apologize for that. I don't have it yet. I'm going to go out tomorrow to pick it up because
he didn't think he was going to lose, man.
There is only one place in town that carries the Carolina Reaper hot sauce. So we're not going timid here. We're going right to the extreme. And we're going to
always go to the extreme.
We're going to be ingesting this fucking liquid fire. And I'm going to have to suffer through it for an hour of the show. So it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, people.
If there are any medical problems during this, Pete, you are allowed to get some milk or something. I'm not going to sit there and watch you die and be like...
You know what, man? This boy right here, he's made a whole lot tougher shit than what you think. Okay? I might use a cane to get around these days. I might be losing my hair. Getting a little bit of white here in the beard. This man has got a lot more balls than you think. That Carolina Reaper sauce will be sitting with me for an hour before I beg for some help.
Oh my God, I was watching, I was on YouTube yesterday. You know, WWE has that show Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I have. Austin Creed runs it.
I watched Sasha Banks eat three habanero peppers.
That's it?
That's it. And she was crying, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Bailey beat her at Injustice 2. I was all excited.
There is news, though. Shelton Benjamin in talks with WWE to make a comeback. What do you guys think about that? Seeing Shelton Benjamin back in the WWE. I think the greatest...
Well, I like it.
One of the greatest Intercontinental and U.S. champions I think they had for a long time, and they let that sumbitch walk out because he was injured. They basically fired him because he was injured. It's
bullshit, man. But we got Angle back. Will we see a Charlie Haas return as well?
I don't know about that.
Right now, isn't he, he's, I can't think of the federation, but he's the first champion who isn't Mexican in the last 20 years, and that's Charlie Haas right now.
I'm going to let you take over the show for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go hit the head, and I will return in about, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. So you have full control over Shooting from the Hip.
We like it raw, guys. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, Monday Night Raw was alright this week. It was nice to see some real emotion on TV, I guess. Pete's not going to agree with me. But that tear, you actually seen a tear run down Enzo's face. And, like, that may have been a real tear. I don't know if he's upset that the tag team's breaking up, or if it's a possibility that he's sad about his merch sales, because they're going to go down. And the rumor is he's going to be going to... Pete's gone, right? No. Anyway, Pete's gone. But, no, I can't believe it, honestly. You know, it's like he's sad that he's going to lose merch sales. He's supposed to be going to 205 Live now, even though he's 206 pounds and he's a heavyweight. You know? So, 205 Live definitely needs the pickup, though. They're just not cutting it by themselves. Especially with Austin Aries out, with injuries already. You know, it's like he comes in, gets injured. Comes in, gets injured. Starting to think these cruiserweights are made out of paper these days. They're not like Psychosis and Chris Jericho back in the day. You know? And Dean Malenko, for that matter. The Club and the Hardys had a match. It was pretty decent. Always like to see the Hardys, you know, in action. If they could be broken, that would be great. But I'm not sure that's going to happen at this point, folks. Because it should have already happened. And in all honesty, I've went to a couple of Jeremy Borat's indie shows, you know. Like I went to Hardcore Homecoming in 2005. And, you know, they need to just let it go if that's what's going to happen. You know?
Well, I am back.
That's fine, but I'm in the middle of a conversation, please, with myself. Because I don't have anybody talking to me anymore. I don't know where everybody went. But I'm tired of Elias Sampson. How about you, Pete?
You know what? A different gimmick and this guy would be a name to be spoken about. But currently, he means nothing to me. Once they put him through a better creative process than they have, I'll say something different. But the look he's got and the skills I know he's got means nothing. You know, at this moment, he means nothing. He could be a whole lot more.
He definitely could. And, you know, The Miz really needed a stable at this point. So I'm glad to see, you know, Bo Dallas back in the ring. We haven't really seen him much on TV in the last, 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah. Now, I went and threw on my beanie to show the viewers the new merchandise. This is the blue and white. There's a red and white as well. Great quality work. I just wanted to show them the other look of it. So, there we go. Done with that. Now,
look, Speed, I can't see you right now, but they do look nice.
Yeah, I showed them to you early on. They are very high quality beanies. The work has been done exceptionally well. I love them, and if you guys are interested in ordering, there is going to be some coming for the Pillar of Post brand. And if you guys are interested in ordering, you got to order through Steel Dragon 1234 at hotmail.com. Make sure you You take advantage of it if you want. They are cheap and affordable, and they look great as well. But also
That's
high quality work.
Because we're plugging things right now.
We don't need to know about your asshole.
Oh no, that has nothing to do with my asshole. Well, it kind of does. You guys, there's this guy in the chat named Scrooge McDuck, and he has sent me a message. He said if anybody would like to send death threats, he'd love to have some death threats. You can send them to therealdjpixels@yahoo.com.
See, honestly, when I want to threaten them, I don't threaten them with words. I threaten them with violence. I don't go the route of speaking what I'm going to do about it, do to the person, because then it takes away the whole surprise of the whole situation. And I don't want to do that. I want you to... I don't need you anticipating what's going to happen. I need you to be afraid of what's going to happen. So, Scrooge McDuck, that would be my threat to you. I'll burn your house down.
You see that, Scrooge McDuck? You get your first death threat.
I wouldn't say a death threat. I just said my way of threatening is physical harm. Because you don't want to take away the whole process of it all, you know? Because once you've given it away, your whole plans on what you want to do to the person, well, the excitement is gone for both sides. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I understand completely.
But in all seriousness, though, this is a wrestling channel. This is a place where we like to have fun. We're not going to go out hunting for you. Not going to happen. For one, it'd take me too long getting there. And two, I don't know if I want to waste my time doing shit like that instead of working the podcast, you know? Scrooge McDuck says, I wouldn't want to piss off Pete. Red shirt anytime. No,
Scrooge McDuck pisses me off on a weekly basis.
I've talked about it a few times on my podcast, the shit I've gone through in my life, the things I've done, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of the people I've hurt in my lifetime. I'm not proud of the things I've done, but I look at it as a whole new thing now. I've got a wife, I've got kids, and nowadays when it comes to fighting, it's on the back burner unless someone crosses my family. Out of protection, I do anything. Back in the day, see,
Pete goes from being Pete Wall to the Big Show.
See, back in the day, all someone needed to do was smile at me, and they were getting their ass kicked. Because why? Why are you smiling and happy when I'm not? You know, that's the way I looked at life. And
now I'm gonna do the rest of the show, Pete.
Buddy, you're lucky you live out in Maryland. I'd fucking Charlie horse you so hard you wouldn't be walking straight for a month.
I'll hit you with a bag of potatoes over the head.
But, and it took a lot to change the way I had my outlook on life. And how that happened was a drunk driver took me out in a full-size pickup truck going 120. And that changed the way I looked at life. And now I just like to have fun, and don't cross me, and I won't cross you. It's the way life is now, you know? Now it's all about doing...
What did you think about the return of Braun?
I loved it, bro. I loved it. My favorite part of that night, him looking down at Roman Reigns and asking him, you think you've forgotten? I'm not done with you. You know, just fucking pitch perfect. It was pitch perfect.
And now they got an ambulance match.
You know what, though? That is the only time I like seeing Roman Reigns in a match, is when he's going against Braun, because they get so physical with one another that it is very unpredictable to tell what is the outcome going to be. I know what the outcome's going to be for the ambulance match. Braun Strowman's taking the victory because he is already penciled in to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Now, it's not pending yet because accidents happen, injuries recur, but right now he's penciled in to face Brock at SummerSlam.
What do you think's going to happen there?
Brock's going to school him. It's going to be
Maybe.
suplex, 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 suplex about 15 times. We're going to get a pin. And then at WrestleMania, we're going to see it's going to be probably Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the title. And we're going to see another Roman Reigns main eventing WrestleMania. That's the way it's going to work, bro.
I really hope. I really don't want to see him in one more main event at WrestleMania.
Neither do I, but they think it's a formula that's working. And as long as they think that, it's going to keep on happening. Because why? Roman Reigns has a lot of middle-aged women all over him, a bunch of little kids all over him, and it's selling. It's selling to those two age groups, the middle-aged women and the little kids.
Gotcha.
The IWF champ sucks balls. And next week, well, not next week, because next week I'll be chugging the hot sauce.
We need to come up with new stipulations for next week. So what are we going to come up with?
Got to come up with what?
Got to come up with new stipulations.
Yeah, because if you went through by views, I outdid you in views, but in likes, you got a few more than me. So,
that's because you advertise your show on my show.
I advertise both shows the same amount. You dumbass.
I don't believe that for a second.
I pushed both matches to the extreme with the fucking share button, man. And I did a great job on commentary on both shows.
Oh, yes, you did do a great job. I was there.
Exactly. Did a great job on both shows. I made your show look good, and I made my show look good. And that is the point, or else I wouldn't be doing it.
I had the better matches, though.
Yeah, when I booked your show, you had the better matches. I do agree.
I put together one hell of a start-off.
What was that?
You know?
I can't remember.
I said I put together one hell of a start for these feuds I'm trying to get going.
But you want a new stipulation. What kind of stipulation do you want?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, we're going to still do the fantasy booking because, you know, I love doing it. Maybe what I do, I pre-record Raw for you, and you do the commentary on it while doing a live stream.
That works.
And if you get the most likes, and I'll broadcast it on my show as well as yours. If you get more likes than I do, then, you know, we'll up the ante a bit. I don't know. Ask the viewers, what kind of stipulation, what should the loser have to do here on Shooting from the Hip?
There's only one person here that doesn't have any say, all right? Scrooge McDuck, you're not allowed to put your 2 cents in. Because he knows exactly the things that I hate, all right?
Damn. Took away that fun.
Scrooge McDuck.
No,
you know what?
I would not go to the excess of eating poop.
On this indie wrestler that I know. We got to do a commentary on his match by ourselves.
Okay, what was that?
We got to watch the worst indie match we can find. And we have to commentate it like we're really excited for it.
Hey, man, I already proved I can do that.
Hey, that was a horrible match, okay?
That was a god-awful match. And I showed you I can still put excitement into that match.
Jesus Christ, he's broken in two! Wait, what?
No, but you know what? We'll figure something out. We'll announce it next week when I'm enjoying my punishment. And, you know, we'll go from there.
You like my eagle, Pete? I made me an eagle. It's a horrible eagle.
I really... Okay, there was... Oh, my God. That is...
It's horrible. I made it with... I found some crayons my nephew had laying around, and I found a piece of cardboard. But I couldn't find any glitter or anything. But there's, you know...
RC Christian goes, what about snorting Carolina Reaper? One full ounce. Bro, I have never done crack in my life. I have never done coke. And I am not going to go to the resort of snorting Carolina Reaper hot sauce or powder. Not going to happen. Because if coke don't fuck up your brain, that sure as hell will. Jesus Christ. You know what? We should, you know, if you lose next week, we should have your brother come over to your place and pour Carolina Reaper sauce over your asshole. And you got to try and sit there the whole fucking show. I'm messing with you, bro. You know I am.
I'll take the pass on that. I got, you know, what happens? Do I have any championship advantage?
No, there's no fucking advantage. What the fuck, man?
There should be a championship the champion's advantage, you know?
This is week
I should have if it's a draw, I should keep the title, you know?
This is week to week punishment, man. There is no fucking championship advantage. You and your paper championship title there mean nothing.
It does not mean nothing. This is my greatest accomplishment in the last 12 years.
And can I ask you, how is it Independent Wrestling Federation when it is WWE?
It's not. It's the Internet Wrestling Federation.
Internet. Okay. I understood it was the Independent World Federation.
Internet Wrestling Federation.
Okay. Still means nothing. I really can't believe you went out of your way to cut one out, though.
You should have seen it. I was sitting there with Scrooge McDuck. I was like, Pete's really going to love this.
I do. I get a good kick out of it, bro. I do get a good kick of it. But I couldn't believe that you actually went out of your way to fucking cut one out and try and
just so you know, guys, Pete didn't know I had this till we went on the air and we were live.
No, I did not.
So, this first time seeing this is...
And then wearing your sunglasses like some kind of big shot, you know? Only,
hold on, wait.
Douchebags.
I got the eyebrow thing going on.
Only douchebags wear their sunglasses inside at night. There you go. Yeah, that is a bad rock
I'm gonna ask you a question, Pete.
You look like Blue Meanie trying to take a crap.
Do you like pie? What's your favorite kind of pie?
Yeah, that doesn't go so well over on the podcast. I like.
I used to cosplay.
I like my pie wet and hot, and just perfectly done.
My favorite kind of pie is probably sweet potato pie.
Wow, you got low standards. I was going straight for the woman's pie, not sweet potato pie, man. What's wrong with you?
I'm from Maryland. It's not always that fresh.
Red met the Blue Meanie. Yes, he's told me on many occasions, Scrooge McDuck. Now,
shut Scrooge McDuck. I love Blue Meanie, and that's why I hate JBL. Fuck you, John.
We've discussed a little bit of the Money in the Bank match. We've discussed...
I discussed most of Raw while you were gone, actually.
What was that?
I discussed Raw while you were gone. That's what I did. I was talking about Enzo.
I don't want to discuss Raw. Raw is complete bullshit.
What's that?
Raw is complete bullshit. And SmackDown is almost right there behind it. I struggled for an hour and a half to stay awake through that show. And then finally I was able to keep myself fully awake. That's wrong. If you got to struggle to stay awake through... Even the Hardy Boy match sucked ass. It was boring,
like
predictable. They did the same fucking routine they've been doing since they came back to WWE.
Well, that is like the 6th or 7th match them and the club have had on TV.
WCW coming back, right? RC Christian asks. No WCW coming back.
They're talking about a WCW pay-per-view. Did you hear about that?
No, I did not. What are they going to do? Invite a lot of the old fuckers that didn't know how to wrestle from WCW? Rick Steiner? You know, for a guy that was in the amateur wrestling circuit like Rick Steiner was, and Scott Steiner, and to see what they do these days, totally garbage. It's like watching Brock Lesnar. He's got all the amateur experience. He's got the MMA experience. What does he do? He utilizes one fucking move.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a shoot wrestling match between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Hands down, that's what I want to see. You know what we're really going to see? Do you know what we're going to see, Pete?
Garbage.
I know exactly what we're going to see if we see a Kurt Angle match at WrestleMania. We're going to see Kurt Angle in one corner and Triple H in the other because they don't have any other fucking way to do anything.
Well, they're already talking about it.
That's what it's going to be. Huh?
They're already talking about it. That when Kurt Angle makes his
Triple H has to be in everybody's shit.
Well, that's what they're already talking about. When Kurt Angle makes his in-ring return, the first pay-per-view, which will probably be Mania, will feature Triple H and Kurt Angle in a match.
Nobody cares. Go home. You're drunk, Triple H.
RC Christian goes, and Kane didn't have one move. Kane had more than one move. He just was an imitation, a cheap imitation of The Undertaker.
No.
Brian he's talking
Lee
about finishing moves.
Imitation of The Undertaker.
What was that?
Brian Lee was a cheap imitation of The Undertaker.
Yeah, well, Glenn Jacobs was right there with him, man. Come on, look at Kane's career. If Undertaker wouldn't have been so successful as The Undertaker, I should say if Mark Calloway wasn't so successful with The Undertaker character, Kane would have never, ever been created or even made it. And he wouldn't have stuck around as long as he did.
He could have made it as a Christmas creature. That was over in IWF.
No.
Or was it was it? I don't know what it was. Not IWF. What the hell was it that USWA? Is that right? United States Wrestling Federation?
Something like that.
Or, I don't remember, but the Christmas creature was over as hell. And then if we didn't have Kevin Nash being the worst WWF champion ever, you know, we wouldn't have Fake Diesel. I was a fan of Isaac Yankem DDS myself. He was the best. The absolute best.
I do see a glimmer of hope for the wrestling industry, though. New Japan Pro Wrestling coming out to the U.S. is a big deal.
Vince McMahon is shitting himself inside.
You know what? If they come full force into the U.S., WWE is going to have no choice but to put better product out there to stay alive. Because right now what New Japan's doing is far above what WWE is willing to push their wrestlers to do.
Far above? Jesus
yes.
Christ. It's like, yes, I understand they're in different fucking hemispheres, as it fucking is. But it's like they're in different fucking planets. Like, we have WWE's like fucking Pluto, and we got fucking New Japan's like Jupiter. It's that fucking big of a difference.
Well, see,
like they have their jobbers are better than their main eventers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, see, out in Japan with New Japan Pro Wrestling, they don't call their mid-carders mid-carders. They call them the pillars of the ring because they are the ones that keep everything moving. When WWE or Ring of Honor or Impact grabs their upper talent, those pillars are the ones that keep things moving and make it look good still. Without those guys...
I'm tired of this bullshit, Pete. Not gonna lie to you. When I was a kid, I liked Val Venus and D'Lo Brown. Alright? And they were never bigger than mid-carders, and they kept the show running, you know?
Now, I do want to give a couple of, I want to read the live chat here. RC Christian goes to say, Kane didn't even have a burnt face, of course. We were talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling. He goes, unless Bill Goldberg comes back, it's all over. I don't really agree with that one there. Goldberg had his day. We might end up seeing him one more time in WWE, but at his age, it's very difficult for him to even train like the wrestlers train. He also goes on to ask, why rely on the Japs?
He trains harder than Kevin Owens right now. Sorry.
What was that?
He already trains harder than Kevin Owens.
Yeah. But why rely on the Japs? It isn't just the Japs working there, though. You've got Cody Rhodes that makes his appearances in New Japan. You've got Kenny Omega. You've got Tama Tonga, that's Haku's son. You've got Tonga Roa. You've got a lot of big names out there.
You got Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yes.
You have Evil. Evil is an amazing stable. And we have people like Okada. Okada is
a big name out there.
He is worth it. We have and I'm tired of fucking hell of hearing about Kenny Omega. I hate Kenny Omega.
You can hate him, but you can't deny what he's done for the wrestling industry, especially for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He has brought in the level and the bar so high that even a guy like Cody Rhodes is going to have to really work his ass off in his Okada match coming up in
Speaking of
California.
Kenny Omega, by the way, did you watch? You don't watch New Japan that often, do you?
I watch the big matches. That's all I watch.
Did you see what they did when they came out? Bullet Club came out the other night.
No.
And they came out and they pulled their shirts off, their Bullet Club shirts, and they had on New Day shirts. Kenny Omega came out with his broom. You know how he comes out with a broom?
Yep.
He came out with the broom and he was like this, like it was a trombone, like he was
poking fun at the New Day. You know what? Anyway,
yeah, he came out to the ring wearing New Day shirts, and the two were acting like Big E and the Young Bucks were acting like Big
Kofi
E
Kingston
and Kofi Kingston, and then Omega is out there and he's all with the broom, and it's just hilarious to watch.
How's it going, Keith Gaming? Glad to see you in the stream. He seems to be in every one of my streams lately, and I'm glad to see him here tonight. I'd like to give all the guys that join the stream a shout out. So, Keith Gaming. Keith Gaming is looking for help growing his channel as well. Make sure you guys check him out. Actually, if you want to, make sure you check all your channels out. We're all trying to build a community here. That's what we're all trying to do. And always hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. If you're not a subscriber as of yet, please subscribe. Help these channels grow. We're trying to build a nice big community here. Not just with YouTubers, with Facebook users as well. That's why I did the Indie League. We're really trying to build a nice big community here. Mine's banned in your country. Scrooge McDuck says. What's he talking about?
What's that?
Scrooge McDuck says mine's...
Yeah, his YouTube channel is banned in the U.S.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
He likes to listen to music when he plays games.
Oh, okay.
He live streams all the time, so his entire channel has been banned in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
And in Canada.
That's freaking low.
Isn't it, though?
I've seen my my career mode got a copyright warning again.
I told you.
Yeah.
You can't that opening video. You got to cut it out.
I was just hoping, bro. You know, just hoping they'd let it slide on through. It's not my problem. YouTube's got a stick up their ass. Or that WWE has a stick up their ass because we're showing the content that they show almost every freaking Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday on television, yet we get copyright warnings for letting the intros get played out. You know, makes no sense to me. That's why when for the Monday and Tuesday fantasy booking, I changed the intros. They are all self-made intros, as well as the Friday and Saturday ones, the Indie League. That's all done so that way I don't have to worry about copyright. So, let me see what kind of news we got here to share with our viewers. Actually, yeah, here it is. Big Show rips into WWE creative writers. You fall asleep there, Red?
Oh no, I was just dreaming, daydreaming.
So
thinking
recently,
about time with better wrestling.
Yeah, I know. So recently, on Talk is Jericho, sports entertainment legend Chris Jericho welcomed his favorite tag team partner of all time to the podcast, and that is the Big Show. Now, according
I don't know that that's true.
Now, according to the Big Show, he loves working house shows on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but he hates going to TV tapings. And this is what he had to say. He goes, I love the live events. I love the Friday, Saturday, Sunday live event shows. I hate TVs. TVs, I just want to bash myself in the head with a hammer because they're just long, useless, time-wasting, bullshit days where you sit around all friggin' day for some idea that absolutely sucks. Debating it for hours and 17,000 inputs, and one or two guys laced up a pair of wrestling boots in their life and know what they're talking about. The others have never laced up a pair and really don't know shit. But for some reason, they're telling you what to do. So you're just sitting there baffled. We all have that same look on TV. We all, we walk around baffled going, why are we doing this? Now, he said a lot more too. He goes on to say, I like the live events. It's not as crazy. There's not as much BS backstage. It's just me and the guys. I liked that part, and I like getting out and working. I've done a lot of stuff where I go down, I knock somebody out, and I leave. I hate that. I get it. I'm old and beat up, and they want to help me out and extend me. But I like getting in the ring. He goes on to say there's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of new talent. There's a lot of new opportunities, and I'm okay with that. They should get the TV time. They should get the pay-per-view time. I'm totally fine with that. Just don't make me come to Mondays when I don't have anything to do. That pisses me off. Do you know what I mean? If I'm coming, use me. If not, send me home. And I gotta agree with the guy, you know?
That's what he said.
Yep. If you're not going to use someone, why do they need to be at the arena? You know?
That's been a problem for years and years, man. Even not just WWE. Even back when WCW was in business. I don't know if you ever watched one of the shoot promos with Bret Hart. He talks about they'd send him out. This is back when WCW paid for all their wrestlers to move around. They sent him out in first class from Canada to like the mid-south somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And put him up at a 4-star hotel, give him a limo, not a rental car, but a limo, to and from the hotel to the arena, and then he gets on TV, sits there for 4 hours. They're like, we don't need you. He leaves before the show starts, and they've wasted all this money. Now, WWE doesn't have that problem about wasting money because they're making their wrestlers waste money.
Yeah. I do want to quickly address a question in the chat. Keith Gaming asks, who's going to win at Great Balls of Fire, Brock or Joe? Right now, there's talk of it just being a one-and-done match. That means Brock Lesnar is going to win. Unless Joe shows something big in that match, he still will probably lose, but we'll see it transition into a second match. That's only if Joe can convince Brock to work with him. And that is the biggest problem with Brock Lesnar. We've had Dean Ambrose face Brock, and Brock shut down every bit of advice or plan that Ambrose suggested. And that is the biggest problem with Brock Lesnar. He only wants to do what he wants to do. And that is suplex you. Yes, he'll throw in a couple of knees, a couple of jabs, a couple of elbows, maybe a headbutt here. But in the end,
to the fucking backbreaker he used to do? That shit looked fucking crazy as hell, Pete.
yeah. But in the end, Brock Lesnar is just going to introduce people to Suplex City, which is a boring-ass match, and that's what we're going to get.
He's too busy going home getting Mark Marrow's leftovers to care about his wrestling. So, that's what I think about Brock Lesnar. You feel the same way, Peter, or am I off a little bit?
You know what? The way I look at Brock Lesnar, he played it really smart. He signed a good contract. He got rich for sitting on his ass and wasting the time of the fans' money and viewership for a title that's crap to begin with to turn crappier by it's sitting on the floor at his home or in the kitty litter collecting dust or cat shit. Okay? That's all he's brought to wrestling since he returned.
Who gives a shit about that belt anyway? It's ugly as fuck.
You know what really used to piss me off? When I'd sit here and I'd listen to other podcasters and see you later, Keith Gaming, I will catch you tomorrow. Sitting here watching other podcasters like Joe Cronin, JD from New York, and all these other podcasters telling me and all their other viewers how Brock Lesnar makes every title that he holds legit. How the hell does a guy make a title legit by it sitting at home collecting dust and he's not fucking elevating the prestige of that title? Now, I understand wrestling is scripted, it's fake, but you're looking at it as a fan and you're looking at it what those titles are supposed to represent. And they are supposed to be the best titles to ever be worn in the world because WWE is supposed to be the best federation in the world. Now, how is that possible when they allow a champion to sit his ass at home and for a title to wither and die?
Well, they did it back in the 80s with Hogan. Hogan was out for almost, a fucking year doing that stupid movie in 1989. No Holds Barred.
Yes.
And they let him keep the title. I mean, it's nothing new. Vince McMahon didn't know how to book then. He doesn't know how to book now. And,
No, to me, it doesn't make any sense what the hell they're doing. Why he even is champion. Why they brought him back, I don't know. They thought it'd bring in a lot of money. And yes, for the most part, it did bring them a lot of money initially. But now, even with him coming back to fight Joe at Great Balls of Fire, I really don't see that pay-per-view really making him that much money.
I just can't be. Every time I hear Great Balls of Fire, I just, what the hell?
No shit.
I don't know what's going on here.
What do you
In
mean?
all honesty, they just keep fucking up WWE so bad. It's like, we know we have the lowest ratings we've had 20, well, now it's 22 years. No,
Yep.
23 years. They have the worst ratings they've had since 1995, the end of 1994. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. And it's not because America's changed so much or the world's changed so much. It's because, well, they're regressing, Pete.
They are. They talk about how wrestling's evolved, and I see it that it's devolved. You know, for a few exceptions, there are some brilliant wrestlers out there. I'm not going to take anything away from guys like AJ Styles, Nakamura, Sami Zayn. Well, I'll take a little bit from Sami Zayn, but it's not all his fault either. You know, and the list goes on. Like Chad Gable, he really showed what he could.
Done. Just real quick, look what they've done to Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
They even took his fucking move from him, and it's not even that dangerous
No,
compared to some of the other shit.
I do agree with you, Michael Hanrahan in the chat. Ring of Honor is getting better, and so is New Japan Pro Wrestling. And when New Japan finally gets their foothold in the U.S. market, look out, WWE. You're going to have to put up or wither and die.
New Japan doesn't even have fireworks at their shows, and they don't need to.
No. No, they let their wrestlers do the speaking for them.
And that's exactly how it used to be, and I liked it.
Yep. I do agree with that. You know,
that's why ECW was over so, in the late 90s, that's why they were over so much. They didn't really have fireworks, They didn't have big lights show and all this production value. They had wrestling and people tuned in to watch wrestling.
Exactly. Now it's all about the lights, the fireworks, and the promos and the marketing. They put more money into marketing than they do actual wrestling these days. Like, they got a 3-hour show and that they get tops, 5 matches there? Yet NXT can do a 1-hour show and sometimes get 5 matches on there. Now, they might not be that long, but they are exciting to watch and they make sense.
Well, the Raw matches aren't ever that long. The longest match, I think, of the card last week was the opening match, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And SmackDown's just as bad.
Yeah?
SmackDown has 1 less hour, but then they have 205 Live, and that's just shit. And I really do wish they would actually... They don't let the cruiserweights actually do things,
I agree.
I
agree. Like, they wasted...
Right now, go ahead and plug...
They wasted all that momentum.
A much better promotion.
They wasted all that momentum that the cruiserweights had made in that cruiserweight tournament. That cruiserweight classic, I should say.
They're doing the same thing with the UK guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect? And that's what they're going to do. That's, guys, don't get too excited for the women's tournament because guess what? It's not going to matter. You know who's going to win the women's tournament? Santina Marella. I'm calling it now. Santina Marella. When Santino Marella dresses up like a woman.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Win. That's who's going to win. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be Ellsworth in a dress.
You love that title, man, don't you? You can't stop fucking petting it and putting it on your shoulder.
I'm the champion.
My God, man. My God. You know what? I guarantee you had sex with it before you even came on air.
What's that?
I guarantee you had sex with that goddamn title before we even went on air. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. What's wrong with you? Fuck, you're
pulling... This is my baby right here.
You pulled a Brad Maddox. Now we're going to have to recreate the IWF title before it's even really been worn.
Oh, no, it's been awarded. We're going to have a ceremony next week.
Oh, really?
Yep. By that time, I should be able to have went to the store and got some glitter or something so that it's all sparkly then.
You're going to have to add some extensions to that cardboard, though, so it fits around your waist.
Oh, no, absolutely not. This is the same size as all your belts that you have behind you.
Yeah, but see, those are just there for show.
This is just here for show. It's
this is
to show
worse
that
than Shawn Michaels posing with the title over his junk for Playgirl.
Hold on. I know you guys can't see that. You probably don't want to see that.
God damn it! I'm starting to really like this Michael Hanrahan. He's got the perfect comments in the chat every fucking time, man. But no, for the most part, I think we've gone over almost every topic. Any kind of questions that you guys have in the chat, throw them out there. We are willing to answer. Don't be shy about it.
We're willing to learn if we don't know.
Yeah. You know, my wife used to call me the encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge, and I have to say I have forgotten so much more than I expected. I used to be able to think of
Really?
matches that happened back in the day they happened, the year they happened, what was the outcome, what happened during the match, and I can't for the life of me do that anymore. How would you like voice promos for our wrestler? I'm going to be doing those on Skype. Now, they can either be pre-recorded, and I play them out on the Skype, or when I do the show Wrestle Talk TV, or I will invite you on to my Skype while I'm doing the show, and you are going to do your promo live. Either way you would like to. Now, you can do the promo as your wrestler, or you can do it as a manager speaking for your wrestler. So that is the options out there for you. Myself, when I do my characters' promos, I will be doing them right there here on YouTube Live. You said you were putting my guy into the first show, so did you want to do the promo tomorrow or some other time? I think for this week, we're going to have the matches, the debut matches, and then next week we're going to do Wrestle Talk TV here on Wednesday night. And I'll invite you onto the show, or if you want to do a voice, if you want to have a recording, that's fine. Michael Hanrahan says, as the advocate, of course. Of course, man. You can talk as your wrestler's manager, advocate, whatever you want to call them.
There's only one advocate at the moment. You're going to have to work hard to be better than him. Jesus Christ. Best talker in wrestling ever, I think. And that's counting Bobby the Brain Heenan. I think Paul Heyman's got it better than Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain Heenan was better as a commentator, I believe.
Bobby!
He was a great manager, but, I mean, he made more success as a commentator than he did as a manager.
The following contest is for one fall. You know?
I disagree on that. Paul Heyman is overrated, but he's okay. Michael Hanrahan. I'll let you two argue that out. I love Paul Heyman, though. So.
Hashtag fire Michael Hanahan.
No, but...
I'm going to be on Twitter by Michael Hanahan next.
I've actually had some good comments on what the wrestlers look like, the way I did them. Especially for the Facebook users. I had to go off of what their characters look on the app that they play, Wrestler Unstoppable. And I'm going to have to get in touch with Wrestler Unstoppable anyway and say, hey, I'm promoting your app here on YouTube. How about you be my sponsor too? You know, should be a thing. But,
wait a minute. Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the whole Pete Dunne thing.
Yeah, he looks like a goof when he does it, and you look even goofier. The guy who did my entrance video made me look really more Billy Idol than Sting, but either works, I guess. I tried going as close as I could to what your wrestler looks like. Now, just remember that this is an indie league, and your wrestler will be getting new looks and getting better looks as the series goes on. I'm going to be getting tips from you guys to change your wardrobe and your face paint if you have it, and basically just do the thing that a COO of a wrestling organization would be, and that's one thing I want to touch on today. Big news in the world of Pete, man. I've got big news for you, Red. I don't know if I've told you about it yet. The guy that does all my merchandise, he is starting an independent wrestling company here in Ontario. Commentary crew begins with me. And my goal is to start off on commentary and break out into the manager role in the Indie Fed. So right now I'm helping them gather up indie wrestlers to join. Next year around this time, his indie corporation will be going live.
You should totally book PJ Parker.
Well, I'm going to be getting in touch with a lot of the wrestling guys around here I know, and he only wants to deal with indie wrestlers. He doesn't want to go after big names like a lot of the indie feds here in Ontario and Canada. They like to call on Scott Steiner and Al Snow and all those already made guys. He wants to stay away from that, and he's opening up a wrestling school as well as a corporation, an indie fed, and so I'm gonna basically be doing a couple of roles. I'm gonna be scouting for him, getting more talent, as well as doing commentary, and I will be in charge of live streaming right from when we do the live shows, and broadcasting them on YouTube. So I'll be doing double duty, commentary as well as the live stream. So that is big news for me, because that was the goal of doing the whole commentary for the 2K17. I told him what I was doing on YouTube. He checked out the regular podcasts that me and you do, as well as the Pillar to Post that I take care of. And then he checked out the commentaries that I've done. He loves them. So, he's brought me into the fold already. So now it's just setting up everything, getting it ready. And I'm back in the wrestling business where my heart's been wanting to be from the start.
Well, what's your capacity going to be there?
What was that?
What are you going to have anything during the show?
Yeah, I'll be doing commentary live at the small halls and stuff that they have, as well as I'll be scouting for talent, hiring talent, and bringing people into the wrestling school, and then just basically like a scout. And then when I'm ready for it, I want to get into the manager role and have more of a presence ringside than just commentary.
I'd love some presents. What kind of presents?
Presence, not presents. Presence. And Scrooge McDuck says, "Take your goddamn glasses off, Fred. You're just trying to sleep."
I'm the champ, motherfucker. Where would I want?
But we've got 8 minutes till the end of the show, so is there anything else you want to discuss? I had to drop that
you didn't got SmackDown at all. Continue with your SmackDown diddly talk.
Okay, so we've covered the whole bullshit with Carmella. Frankly, I can't remember anything else besides that. We had Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper in the main event. That match blew chunks. You could tell Luke Harper has been sitting on the sidelines way too long. He's getting out of shape. He's got ring rust on him. And finally taking him off the bench and letting him wrestle, it was a shit match. And Jinder Mahal isn't the greatest wrestler to begin with. Now, what he's doing with his skills is working for him. He's being slow. He's methodical.
Don't you badmouth the modern-day Maharaja.
He's thinking his match through for a change, but it still isn't putting on championship-worthy matches. And then you got a guy that's got ring rust because he's been sitting on his ass for like a month, no television time, and you get a match like we had for our main event on SmackDown. Total garbage.
He thinks he's the new Bruiser Brody, but he's not. Sorry to tell you, Luke. He's just not.
Frankly, NXT was where it's at, and then next week we've got a big match between Nikki Cross and Asuka. The first match was the triple threat. That was a big match with Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, and Asuka. A great match. Ruby got eliminated first. So now the feud is essentially just Asuka and Nikki Cross, and the two are brutal to each other. I love what they do in that ring and outside of it. Now it's for the women's title on NXT next week. That's going to be kick-ass. And we discussed the Alistair...
Or is it pre-taped?
I have no idea if it's... I know the 400th episode of NXT, I believe there's talks that it's going to be a live show. But I'm not sure. I know it's the 400th. They want to make it a big deal. It'll be Roderick Strong versus Bobby Roode for the title. and they're making a big deal, hyping it up. That is their 400th episode, but I'm not sure. Let's see. We got some comments here. Scrooge McDuck, make Red take those glasses off. He's trying to sleep. Michael Hanrahan says, I never forgave Paul Heyman for his betrayal of RVD. I guess I'm just a mark like that. He also goes on to say he thinks he's The Rock, and he's talking about you there. You and your shades. And Scrooge McDuck follows that up and says, you're more like Rikishi.
Really?
And Hanrahan warned Scrooge McDuck, says, careful, Scrooge, you don't want heavyweight Mark to stink face you.
The thing is, Scrooge McDuck is like 41 minutes for me. I'll see you in 41 minutes.
Man, I love these guys, man. They are just a class act here on the live chat. Just wonderful. It makes my night, man. At least they're starting to get more comfortable talking.
You know, real quick, Scrooge McDuck, if you've ever watched one of his live streams, he always has his webcam on. That motherfucker looks like he just went to the grocery store, and he's still got the bags over his eyes. Come on now. Scrooge, I'm going to get you.
My address is 123 Fake Street.
Yeah,
that was his reply to you. My address is 123 Fake Street.
Yeah, I know where you really live. You know, no big deal there, buddy. Wait, what was that thing that Punk used to do? He used to be like this. Is that right?
Yeah. But
wait a minute. I can't CM Punk. That's horrible. If I'm CM Punk, I'm going to lose this fight.
I think we're going to call that a show. Anything else going on the Heavyweight Mark channel that these people need to know about?
Absolutely. Got new videos coming. Lots of new videos. We got Heroes of the Storm, Final Fantasy Dimensions, Final Fantasy VIII, which has been a hell editing. Because every time I turn around, there's a fuck. So, but I'm serious. It's been literal hell. I got 4 hours of editing to do, and it's taken me 3 days so far to get 2.5 hours done. So, if people that game with me could stop cursing, that would be great. And I also got Super Mario Brothers, which got taken down because of a stalker.
Yeah.
That was fun. Anybody who's seen that, dear God, you can. Scrooge McDuck was commenting at the time when I was doing the live stream. He can tell you, dear God, this girl is crazy.
Oh no, I seen the comments, bro. I wanted to watch it, and I got it right there at the tail end when they were taking it down. And I seen all the comments she posted, and it's like, wow, this chick is whacked out.
Hey. What do you want me to tell you? I got it like that, Pete.
Scrooge McDuck says he told everyone about you and him. We're together now, he says. Let's see.
That's what the stalker girl was saying, man. She was like, oh my God. She's like, we could be together. I told everyone I'm with you. I'm like, help.
But you guys already know, tomorrow at 6 p.m. is the DVD.
Wait a minute, he put his real address up. Oh my God. He put his real address in the chat.
You guys all know, get here on Pillar to Post, 6 p.m. tomorrow night, and we will feature the debut of Big Dog Wrestling with the 2K17. It is all about the indie wrestling. We're going to introduce you guys to a world of new characters. I'm going to try and make it as interesting and as exciting as I possibly can. I'll try and bring you guys into the world of Wrestler Unstoppable as well as the characters from here on YouTube.com. You guys all know Red Rainer. He's going to be in the game. Myself, I will be in the game. I've got two of my characters that were involved in Wrestler Unstoppable as well involved. And then we've got JD from New York with Mr. 9 to 5. We've got Chris Danger from the Chris Dankers channel. We've got Grim from Grim's Toy Show. And we've got, let's see, Tyler Black from the Hit Squad channel. And we've got, there's a guy in here earlier, I think it was Michael Hanrahan. Crypto Zoo Mauler will be featured in there. I'm going to just basically let you guys all, the main event tomorrow night for Big Dog Wrestling will be a Royal Rumble to determine who is the very first mid-card champion. I believe that is the Canadian heavyweight champion. That's what our main event's going to be, so that way I can feature every single male on the roster. The women got big matches as well, and we're going to decide the heavyweight champion as well as the tag team champions as well. Big things going down tomorrow and Saturday as well. You guys all know the rest of my routine. I do Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday covering Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And any news and rumors I can give you later on. The women got a big old match. Oh, yeah.
There's a rumor going around now that Pete Wall is actually the Big Show.
Oh, I have a cracked out brother-in-law that believes I still am the Big Show. And believe me, that is hard to kind of digest at times.
Now, we need you guys to support us and share as much as you can.
Yes.
Because the YouTube algorithm is killing us. Anyone who has anything to do with wrestling, YouTube is trying to bury us. And it's not cool, man. It's literally killing us, our growth, and it's stopping us dead in our tracks almost. If it wasn't for fans like you guys, we wouldn't be able to have this show at this point. Because God knows no one's finding us on the YouTube, like, front page, period.
No, I make sure I let all the subscribers and viewers know I do appreciate all the support they've been giving the channel, as well as Shooting from the Hip, and I make sure to let them know about your channel every time I do something. So, Michael Hanrahan says, then how is What Culture Wrestling so big a thing on YouTube? The problem is they had to fight
internally very big.
They had to fight YouTube in order to get their channel back. They got their live streaming capabilities removed. They had their live shows taken off. It was because of the, what's his name, Blampier. It was because of him doing a very emotional speech and basically fighting YouTube with our support and a whole lot of other people's support that they got back on YouTube. Okay, we are put on a restricted mode because we are covering violence. We are endorsing violence. That is what YouTube is saying. So
I haven't seen anything violent about this show except for the back of this title belt.
Yeah, with the cum shot on the back end of it.
Anyway, one more thing, Pete, before we go. I know we got to get wrapping up here because you're old and you need to get to bed. Guys, I really appreciate you guys stopping in and watching us.
As do I.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you all this evening. And I realize you guys have been watching us instead of watching Impact Wrestling. Now, I know that's not that big of a loss. But at the same time, we would still like to thank you guys for stopping in.
So, this has been Pillar to Post and Heavyweight Mark, Pete Wall, and Red Rainer. And I want to thank everyone once again for stopping by. It's been a great night. I've been loving the chat stream going. It's been an awesome night. We will see you guys back next week at 8 p.m. for Shooting from the Hip. Until then, this is Pillar to Post, Pete Wall. You don't know how to...
I'm Red.
He's Red Rainer from the Heavyweight Mark channel. Make sure you go visit Heavyweight Mark's channel and subscribe and like to him out of courtesy for him being the co-host here on Pillar to Post, because to me, it's only respectable to do. You guys have a good night. We will see you very, very damn soon.